Hello my friends, Paul here in the RoJoBe Music Workshop, and welcome to part 2 of the 145-year-old violin neck reset project. Okay, so in real time I'm recording this video just minutes after the first one, although for you it's been 3 or 4 days. So the violin is over there. I've got the neck glued and clamped. I'm going to leave that several hours, as long as possible really, to make sure that's properly set, because you know, I don't want it to fail and I don't want to have to do it again. So I'm going to leave that as long as possible. I may not even get back to it today. I might leave it until tomorrow to make sure that is really fully set. So I also mentioned in part 1 that before I put the violin back together, I'm going to polish it. Now what I use is something I've made up myself. It's beeswax and boiled linseed oil, kind of 50-50. And I've just got it in this little pot. And it should be the consistency of kind of a soft paste wax. I mean, that's basically what it is. You know, so it's a natural beeswax, so absolutely the best thing for wood, particularly old wood. And also boiled linseed oil is really, really good for wood, and again, especially old wood. So I made this up quite a long time ago, and I don't use it often, but it's really good to have about. Now, the problem is over time, the oil kind of dries up and it turns into a kind of a hard jelly sort of thing. So I need to reconstitute this paste wax. So what I'm going to do is heat it up until it melts, and then stir in some more boiled linseed oil in the pot, and then leave it to set again at room temperature, back into a paste wax. And you know, that to set properly can take a few hours really. So I've got my rig set up here to do this little job, and basically it's a hot plate, and I've got an old army mess tin here with some water in, and I will put the pot inside there and heat it slowly, because you know it's oil and it's wax, flammable, you know, so I heat it slowly until it melts, and then, like I said, stir in some more boiled linseed oil. So I'm just going to put this onto the hot plate and put this in the water now, so that it will, you know, gradually heat up. But I am going to turn the power up to full to begin with, just to get it started. And I've got my infrared thermometer here to, you know, to kind of monitor what's going on. This will take a little while to start to melt. But you know, this is what I use for practically all of my instruments. And as I said, for old instruments, it's really, really good. Really good for the wood. So you know, you can buy this kind of stuff, but it's ridiculously expensive. Beeswax is cheap. Boiled linseed oil is not cheap, but it's affordable. Let's put it that way. Now, while that's slowly heating up, let's just check the temperature already. So we're only at 30 degrees, so there's a little way to go yet. So I'm just going to clean out the lid. It's got some of the gunk in there. You just use a little knife just to clean that out. So this is not going to be a long project. I mean, you know, the main part of the job is done already. Gluing the neck back in. I've just got to wait for it to, you know, for the glue to harden. And as I said, I'm going to be touching up the body of the violin a little bit, not too much. I'm going to be kind of sympathetic to its age, so not do too much, just a little bit of tidying up. and then a wax polish and put it back together. So it's not a long project at all. It's just absolutely crucial that I get the neck reset right. And you know, I checked it, double checked it, triple checked it. Very happy with the alignment and everything, so we're good to go. I've just got to wait for it to set now. And okay, the water is beginning to get hot. Let's just see where we're at for temperature. It's showing about 40. I think it's a bit more than that. I'm not going to put my finger in to test it. I know it's hot. Wait. And the wax is beginning to melt, so it's not going to need too much. So yeah, I can see it's starting to melt inside there, but to get the whole lot melted it will take a little while. Hopefully not too long. Let's just push that on a little bit. Okay. And I've got these big long tongs that I'm going to be using to, you know, to handle this, because it's going to be pretty warm. The problem is the bottom of this pot is hollow, so we're getting air trapped in there, which I don't really want. Oh, I need a stick to mix it with. Let me just go and grab one from my back room. I'll be in 1 minute. Or unless I've got one here. Not so much. Okay, 1 minute. Yeah, I don't really want to leave that. I'm going to turn that off while I go, just in case there's any accidents. Yeah, it's getting pretty hot. Right, I did find this stick, but it's covered in paint, so I don't think I'll use that. This one's a bit thick, really, but should be okay. Yeah, that's pretty solid, so this definitely needs doing. Yeah, starting to melt. Shouldn't take too long. That water is actually boiling now, so it's all the way off. The hot plate is all the way off at the moment. I'll just leave it for a minute. Yeah, that's starting to melt now. I'll just turn that up to number 1. It may not be quite hot enough for this, really, but I don't want to overdo it. It is melting, so we'll get there. I'm just not very patient. I wonder if I've got another stick I can use. That one's a bit thick, really. That'd be okay. Another thing I definitely don't want is this spitting in my face. That will tickle a bit. Actually, I don't know if you can see, but the liquid that's in there, it's kind of brown. So that is mostly the oil, the boiled linseed oil. But you know, the wax is impregnated with it, so it's just what's kind of oozing out. Okay, I'm just going to turn that up to number 2. It goes up to 5, this hot plate, so that's still fairly low. Is that? It's kind of warm, that handle, but not hot. Okay, it's starting to go. It's quite a strange smell coming off of this. I mean, boiled linseed oil has got a very distinct smell. Beeswax doesn't have a lot of odour to it until you heat it, and then you can really smell it. Obviously, it's kind of a honey smell for obvious reasons. So you know, that mixed with the smell of boiled linseed oil, it's a strange aroma. Some people find it quite noxious. I don't mind it. I think it's all right. Should I turn that up one more? I think, yeah, I'm going to go up to 3. Seems to have slowed down a bit. How are we doing for time? Okay. Yeah, I don't want to do this too fast. Obviously, oil and heat don't play well together. Oil, wax and heat. But it's going. It's starting to get softer. Let's just check that temperature. So the water is about 85 degrees. The wax itself, much cooler, about 50. So maybe I'll turn that up a bit more, 3.5. Yeah, the wax itself is only at about 50 degrees and the water 85. So the heat is not kind of generating through that much. It's better to do this in a tin, but this is what I have the wax in, so I might as well do it in here. Yes, it's starting to get nice and soft now. Won't be too long. I'm going to go up again, up to 4. I mean, I can use this wax as it is, but it's not as good. It's better to have it, nice and soft. Yes, it's starting to go now. I'm actually just going to use that to hold it still because it's kind of moving around with the bubbles. So I guess that water is close to 100 now. 90-ish, and the wax, still about the same, about 50. Interesting. going to turn it up a little bit more, 4.5 now, almost maximum. I'll try and speed it up a little bit. Like I said, I just don't think the heat penetrates the plastic as well as it would in a tin. And maybe I'll do that next time, just literally scrape it out of here into a tin and do it that way, but it's just a bit of a faff, that's all. Come on. Temperature's going up now, it's nearly 60 now in the wax, so should start to speed up a bit. But yeah, like I said, I really don't want this spitting in my face, so don't want to go too mad. I mean, really, you know, you should heat the oil as well, but I actually don't have a lot of room in this pot, so if I topped it up with oil now, it would spill out, so don't really want that. Alright, I'm going to turn it up to maximum, get this thing moving. It's going. It's starting to liquefy. I mean, what this is showing me is that it, you know, it really was turning into a solid lump, which, you know, it's not ideal for how you want to use it. Yeah, it's definitely on its way now. I keep saying that, don't I? How are we doing time-wise? Okay, not too bad. Let me just use these tongs to hold that still when I try and mix it around a bit. That's better. Yeah, so it's starting to spill out a bit, which I don't really want. But we're almost there. In fact, there's a little bit of skin there. I might try and take that out. So I don't think that's going to be any use. Right, let me try and find something to fish that out with. Can't seem to grab it with that. I'm going to use a pair of pliers. Dang, that's hot. Yeah, I don't think that is any good. Get rid of that. Actually, why don't I use these? That's not much use. Right. I'll clean those up later. That will clean off easy enough. Some more of that skin there, that side. Oof. Probably would be alright, but it doesn't seem to be melting, that skin, so not much good. Oof. Right, give that a bit longer to see if that will melt, but if not, I'll pull that chunk out. It might not be any good. This is turning into a bit of a messy job. That's why I've got it on this metal plate, and also to protect the bench against the heat. I'm not sure that little bit left in there is going to melt. I don't know. It's not looking like it. Right, so I'm gonna pull that chunk out because I don't think that's any good. Yeah, seems to have turned into a skin. Right, heat off, all the way off. Let's pull that out. Right, so that's pretty much all liquid now. Let me just check. Yep. Oh, there is a couple of chunks in there. I'll see if I can get those out. It's gone a bit. Bleh. Right, I think that's good. Right, so the heat is off, but it's still, you know, these hot plates take a long time to cool down. So I'm going to pull that out now. Carefully. I mean, these tongs are now covered in wax, so right. So I'll put that down there. Can you see that all right? Sort of, kinda. Let me just turn that round a bit. There you go. You see now? Oh yes. Right, so I'm now going to very carefully pour a little bit of boiled linseed oil in there at arm's length, just in case there's any popping and fizzing. Right, that should be enough. Don't need too much, because I don't want to, you know, sort of liquefy it too much. And give it a stir. Okay, so all I need to do now is to leave that to set at room temperature, and we'll be good to go. Yeah, look at all that nastiness that came out of there. It's all kind of gone like jelly. Horrible. So, that's the paste wax made up. Like I said, I've just got to allow it to cool. It probably takes several hours for that to cool and to set into, you know, a paste again. I'm just going to see what the temperature is. Yeah, it's not hot. It's about 50, 55. Yeah, about 50, 56. But you still wouldn't want to put your finger in there. So that's what I'm going to be using to polish this violin once the work is finished. So part 3 will be removing the clampage and checking that the neck is properly set, and then I'm going to touch up some of the worst areas, well, not all of them, but some of them on the violin, just to tidy it up a little bit. I'm going to do very little because, you know, as it looks at the moment, patina, you know, so I don't want to try and make it look brand new or anything. I just want to touch up just a few of the nicks, just a few. You know, I'm not going to be doing too much, just to try and make it look a little bit happier. And then once I do the wax polish, it will look a lot better, a lot better. And then putting it together. So yeah, part 3 will be, you know, checking the neck and doing the touch up. It might well go into part 4 for the final assembly. And yeah, we're almost there. So, thanks again for watching. Thank you, John, and your family for bringing this violin into me. I love working on things like this. And we will see you soon. In the meantime, look after yourselves, look after each other. Peace out.